Welcome to my first Quilttube, and where I'm going to talk about some of the projects that I've made during the month of January. My name is Moneik Stevens. I am a prolific quilter, and I have been quilting for the past probably close to 24 years. Since I was in college, I used t-shirt quilt money to help pay for college, and have just continued to quilt, sew, make bags ever since. This Quilttube is my opportunity to talk about some of the fun things that I sew each month and how I get done, the amount that I get done as a prolific quilter. In January, I like to start a new project. I want to make sure that I have the best start to my new year. So I made the ultimate travel tote. This is the back. It has the strap that goes over your luggage. On the front, it has a pocket. This one is made with Tula Pink's homemade fabric line and the fairy dust fabric for the handles and the carrying strap as well. So this one took me about 10 days. So I typically sew probably 2 hours a day in the evenings after my kids and my husband go to bed. And so this bag I made for all of my sewing projects. I did have kind of a self-imposed deadline. My daughter and I were going to a quilt retreat, so I wanted to make sure that I got it completed in time for that. So this is the ultimate travel tote. It's a by Annie bag pattern. This is the second one I've made, and it's one of my favorite patterns. In addition, I also made the just in case bag, and as you can see, one side has mesh, one side has vinyl, and again I use the by Annie bag pattern for this. This is the small size, and I use Tula Pink's homemade line for this piece as well. This one I didn't realize that it would be kind of upside down the way that I put the sewing machine. However, when you're looking at it, it's not necessarily upside down. It's just a different direction than we're typically used to with looking at a book. I made a lot of bags this month. You can see all of the bags on my blog, Moneik at blogspot.com. It's where I have blogged since 2006. Not as much in the last few years, but I'm trying to get back into doing a little bit more blogging. I'm trying to do once a month at least, sometimes once a week. I had some excess fabric left over from a amount that I quilted, and so I made a little bag with the leftover fabric. This one's says Chiefs. I had made my son an Easy Does It bag from by Annie with the Chiefs fabric, and so I just used that. And then my friends and I went to a quilt retreat at a friend's house in November, and I did not get any gifts made, and we always exchange gifts, and so I said, I will make you any bag pattern. So these are a little similar to a clam up. They're called a persimmon pouch from So Sweetness, and they're very, very fast and easy to make. This one is the medium, and it's for my friend Nicole. And this one is the small, and it is for my friend Emily. Quick, easy, little zipper, little quilted fabric is perfect. My friend Jen asked for the thread dispenser, so this is again a by Annie pattern, and it's called the small thread dispenser. As you can see, it has an elastic over the button, and then it has 2 vinyl pouches where you can put your little hand sewing kit in it. Did get the sewing machine to set up straight on one side of it at least. So it's a neat little pouch that you can put your hand sewing kit in. My friend Gayla asked for the Peacekeeper, and so she's really in love with the Tula Pink fabric. So I did a Peacekeeper which is another by Annie pattern. It's a free pattern, and it is in Tilda fabric for my friend Gayla. Michelle and Tammy also got gifts. They got a clam up and a flippin' out, but I've already delivered those. So I did use the Peacekeeper pattern and kind of adjusted it to make a big project bag for the t-shirt quilt that I'm working on right now. This one has Tula Pink's Courier fabric on it, and I just love how I was able to use the print from the fabric on the bottom half, use vinyl, top zipper, and then it has a big handle. So this is holding my t-shirt quilt project that I'm working on right now. The quilt behind me is the only full-size quilt that I finished for the month of January, and this one is called Harmony. It's in Nova fabric from Moda, and Nova is one of my favorite lines of fabric, and Harmony was one of the quilt-alongs that we did with GE Designs over the last couple years. So this is a quilt that I did finish this year, and I'm looking forward to getting a few more finishes in as well. I spent a day at my dad's quilting in January, and I got 6 different quilts quilted. I just haven't had time to put binding on all of them. So a little bit about myself. I am a quilter. I'm an academic advisor. I'm a mom to an 11 and 9-year-old, and a wife to my husband Paul. We've been married for 14 years, and so this is just kind of my forte into sharing a little bit about what I'm working on currently. I showed you the t-shirt quilt that I'm working on in the just in case. I have 2 projects going right now. So I have a little cowboys quilt here that's half square triangles, and then I have a Lamar half square triangle project that I'm working on as well. So these are kind of a few examples of things that I'm currently working on. I'm also working on Rhododendron Trail, the mystery quilt from Quiltville. I'm working on some other bag, wired tote, and the t-shirt quilt. So I have lots of different projects going all at the same time. I do keep track of my stash and how many hours that I quilt, and all that information can be found on my blog, again at moneik.blogspot.com, and it's MONEIK @blogspot.com. If you want to email me, it's moniquequilts@ymail or gmail.com, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the projects that I've completed this year. As I get better and I learn a little bit more, I hope to share more projects and more things that I'm working on this year. Thanks for tuning in.